Hello, everyone. I hope that everyone is okay today, this Friday. I know that many hearts are heavy with what is going on in the Ukraine. I know that it is very tragic, and I want to say that here is a safe place to talk about it. I know that it's really triggering a lot of anxiety. Many people are being affected. So if you do need some place to just talk, please feel free to open up here. We don't allow politics, so no political arguments. But if it is something that's affecting your mental health, that's what we're all about. And I know myself that news is something that definitely gets to me. Typically, I actually don't watch the news, but obviously, this is a pretty big event that was obviously brought to my attention. Today, I am going to be donating all of the pledges made here to Sunflower of Peace. They are a nonprofit organization that's raising money to prepare first aid medical tactical backpacks for paramedics and doctors on the front lines in the Ukraine right now. So all of the pledges will be going toward that today. Please make sure that you use the super chat or super sticker if you're wanting to help. Otherwise, let's just make sure that we're holding space for people, that we're sending energy, that we're sending love, that we're being empathetic. As this is a mental health live stream, I just want to say, of course, that I am not a professional. I am a certified life coach, but I am not a mental health professional. If you are having a mental health crisis, please make sure that you call a hotline, go to the hospital, or speak to a professional. Make sure that you're getting the help that you deserve. Everything that I'm sharing is just my experiences or experiences from life coaching clients, experiences of other people. I do want to say that we're going to really be sharing good news today and sharing positive energy just to raise the collective vibes, because it can be very hard when we're really bombarded with this news, when we're really bombarded with all of these things, to keep high spirits. And we are definitely going to be doing that today. So where are you all from? Let's do a check-in. I will get into our good news, and we have something a little new today that I'm going to be doing, but I think some of you will recognize where it's from. But where's everybody from as I pull up the good news, which is actually about Ukraine, because I thought that we could all use that right now. The news stations are always going to focus on the negative, right? And there's a reason for that. But it can be very difficult. Like I always say, things that we're really needing to know about, we're going to find out about. There's no reason to sit around and watch the news. So you will get updates. It's important to stay informed, but that doesn't mean being connected 24/7, because it will start having an effect on your mental health. So Ukraine calls on the hacker underground to defend against Russia. Right now, the hacker underground of Russia, the hacker underground of the Ukraine is volunteering their time and their efforts and their skills to protect their country, which I think is super cool. The government of Ukraine is asking for volunteers from the country's hacker underground to help protect critical infrastructure and conduct cyber spying missions against Russian troops, according to people involved in the project. As Russian forces attacked cities across Ukraine, requests for volunteers began to appear on hacker forums on Thursday morning as many residents fled the capital. Also, I want to say that I will be diverting my Days for Girls efforts to Ukraine right now. So we're going to be sending kits. So donations, pledges today can also go toward that. Please just specify whether you want it to go toward the Days for Girls kits, toward the Days for Girls missions, to make sure that girls and women who are fleeing and who are going to be displaced for the time being have those necessary kits that they need to deal with their feminine hygiene, with their menstrual hygiene. Or if you want it to go to Sunflower of Peace, just let me know when you make a pledge here. It says, Ukrainian cyber community, it's time to get involved in the cyber defense of our country, the post read, asking hackers and cybersecurity experts to submit an application via Google Docs, listing their specialties such as malware development and professional references. I didn't know that hackers had professional references, but that's pretty awesome. Another person directly involved in the effort confirmed that the request came from the Defense Ministry on Thursday morning. Ukraine Defense Ministry representatives did not respond to a request for comment. A defense attaché at Ukraine's embassy in Washington said he cannot confirm or deny information from Telegram channels referring to the mobile messaging platform and declined further comment. Of course he did. The defense unit would be employed to defend infrastructure such as power plants and water systems. In a 2015 cyber attack widely attributed to Russia state hackers, 225,000 Ukrainians lost electricity. So this is going to be very crucial to helping them keep their quality of life to the best of their ability while this goes on, while this unfolds. So I just like to focus on the good news. I like to focus on what's positive in situations, even in the worst of situations. There are always the heroes that will step forth, the people that will protect and that will do their best to make the best of the situation. I actually really enjoy reading reports from the Holocaust of individuals who were in concentration camps and would still try to find the best possible outlook. Like, if someone in a concentration camp can manage to find a positive outlook, it really puts things into perspective for me. So I really like to do that. So, in a sense that there's good news in this world. I'm from Canada, yes, and that's why we focus on it, because the news channels don't want you to see that. There's actually an app called Squirrel News, and it's nothing but good news. It just shares good news stories. I like to read that because, again, while I do think it's important to stay informed, it's really important to stay positive. So we have Georgia, Pennsylvania, Israel, Netherlands, Oregon, Illinois, Texas, Finland. So many different places in here. I love it. Jill says, thank you again for Jelly Roll. It definitely was a little break from the normal, which was the goal. Thank you for your pledge and for supporting the channel, and for supporting the mission to shatter the mental health stigma, for supporting this big project. If you do still want to make a pledge for the project, I do list all of my stuff below, or you can just simply state in your super chat sticker or comment what to pledge for. So I do want to raise money for individuals that are struggling right now in the Ukraine. The Days for Girls, I can't think this morning. The Days for Girls kits. I do want to be able to send a good amount of kits from my chapter to the individuals that are struggling there, and of course still work toward that big project. So I actually I have $4,000 to raise by the end of March for this big project. So I really, really appreciate everyone's support. It really does mean the world to me. And I'm just so excited to get this out, because I know you all are going to love it, and I know it's going to make a really huge difference. So without further ado, before we get really into chatting, over on the community here on the channel, I asked individuals to share some of their wins because I just wanted to talk about the wins that we're having. We're all having struggles. It's life, c'est la vie. And I really want to focus on your wins, because that's what you should be focusing on too. Yes, symptoms of depression can seem crippling. Yes, people suck. Let's just be real. Humans be so human-y. People always peopling, and it can really be a drain, right? So I want to focus on the good. So feel free to share your positives here in the comments. But I also am going to pull out my Snap Cup just to share some of those things that we had over in the community. So if you don't know what a Snap Cup is, you've never watched Legally Blonde. It's one of my favorite movies. I have my own Snap Cup that I use with Bryston. I use for myself. I sometimes use with friends. But yes, I have the song memorized. So I will share that with you. Please ignore my singing voice, but I will share that little song with you, just so you know what a Snap Cup is. So Snap Cup time, gather ye round, friends and foes together, united and bound. Pass it to your neighbor instead of blowing up, and you'll find harmony and love in a Snap Cup. Okay, so the positive things that individuals are sharing over on the community, which I'm going to be doing every week now, so make sure you watch the community posts. I'm going to share with you guys now, just so we can share a little bit of positivity. So share here as I pull some of these. I guess I should shake it up. I almost feel bad for not wearing pink today. Rick, yours came out first. So Rick is here. Hello, my love. Rick James locked up the gun that was tempting him, and his nightmare flashback free finally after his time in Afghanistan, and his emotions are balancing and regulating. So snaps for Rick. Everyone give Rick snaps. That is amazing. I know that trauma can be so difficult to overcome. We are all so super proud of you here that you've made so much progress just in the time that I've known you. So you're making so much progress. You're amazing. I'm proud of you. Snaps for Rick. Okay, let me make sure that I'm not losing too many people here. Romania. I'm from Romania, but I live in Italy. That just sounds so interesting. All these amazing places. Nick Wilder says, my son got his marching orders today. He's going to Estonia for protection of the Dutch army that are already there. Going out for the first time tonight without any of my family. For the first time in almost 3 years from astronomy night, Ty B says. Awesome. I love astronomy. There's a place here next to our library that has a telescope and stuff, and it's amazing. I just went out the other night and got to look at the moon through the telescope. It was really super amazing. So snaps for Rick, snaps for Ty, snaps for Nick and his son. Okay, this is Anthony J. Anthony J is clean and sober since November of 2013, almost 10 years. You are almost this close. You're this close to that 10-year mark, but that is amazing. Long-term goal that he's had for 3 years is starting an airsoft store with a test range, indoor and outdoor playing fields, and it's coming into fruition. And he's even getting discounts on shop stuff. He says normally he would celebrate with drugs or alcohol, but did not celebrate it in other ways. So that is huge in so many ways. Snaps for Anthony. Everybody give snaps here in the comments for Anthony. Amazing. I know how hard staying clean and sober can be, but that is amazing. My date is coming up here as well. I love to celebrate. And I love finding different ways to celebrate. We Brazilians love you, Edivaldo. That sounds really exotic. I love it. Levi says, my 11-year-old daughter has been extremely emotional lately. She finally told me that everything is too bright. Everything is too loud. My hands feel weird. I assume it's sensory overload. Thoughts. There can be several things going on there. That could be a sign actually also of being on the spectrum. My friend, again, I am not a medical professional, so please make sure that you consult a medical professional about this. But my friend has a son who had several, actually all of those same symptoms and ended up getting diagnosed and is on the spectrum. So you might want to look into that. It could just be sensory overload. I know that when I get really anxious, when my symptoms of anxiety peak, I can get light sensitivity. I can get sensitivity to sound, and I really just want to kind of want to shut down, and it's very overwhelming. And I finally explained that to my son, that sometimes I just get really overstimulated, but I would absolutely get her in to be seen, to be evaluated, so that someone can figure out exactly what's wrong. But that's really great. That's really amazing that she told you that she was able to express that. I have an 11-year-old son, and it's really amazing that she's able to express that. So that is the first step, is knowing about it so that you can figure out what's going on, so you can figure out treatment. Rick, thank you so much for your support. I love you. I'm really so very, very proud of you. Brett. Deutsch. I'm going to butcher some names on here. I'm sorry. Some people just have really crazy screen names or really crazy names. But Brett says 10 years ago, he lost friends throughout his college career because of his desire not to join a fraternity. He patched things up with these friends, and despite feeling alone, confused, depressed, and sad at the time, now 10 years later, has a good job and is relatively happy. I love the relatively happy, because people think that if we're not absolutely blissful all the time and just in a state of ecstasy, that we're not where we're meant to be, or that that's not good enough. No, relatively happy is perfectly fine with me. I am very happy. I'm very happy for you that you mended those friendships. It's really great when we can do that, when we can mend a friendship, when we can, get over those things that really bothered us. But I do know also how isolating that can be when you lose the people closest to you because of difference in opinion, and you are very confused and you're angry and you're sad. There's just so many emotions going on there. So snaps for Brett for mending those things with his friends, for patching things up, for being able to move beyond that. That is amazing, and I'm very happy for you. I hope that there are many, many long years of friendship ahead for all of you. David's right. Relatively happy leaves room for growth. Brett says, you got my last name right, Deutsch. Yes, yes. Snaps for me for being able to pronounce it correctly. Okay. I love this. I just love checking in with some positivity. So again, if you're wanting to submit anything that's you are very proud of, any small thing, big thing, doesn't matter, share something that you're proud of within the community, and I will try to get to everyone and try and share. Marco Warco fell off his game 8 years ago after a car accident that resulted in a traumatic brain injury. Recently moved to a new town, found a church community, and is finding direction and determination again. He says, I will be a sound engineer again. So it is written, so it should be done. You will be a sound engineer again. I believe in you. I love the stories when people get knocked down and then they get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. I guess today you're just going to listen to a lot of my singing. Sorry for that. But everybody gets knocked to rock bottom at some point in their life, and you can either choose to wallow in that, or you can figure out what needs to be done to move through that and get to the other side. And it's going to be one hell of a journey, but there's so much on the other side. And I'm really excited to hear about when you become a sound engineer again. So you come here and you tell us when you do that, because I want to know, because I believe in you. David says, how long until Amanda tries to take a sip out of the snap cup? I promise I haven't been drinking, my friends. Patrick Gardner, I've been clean on suicidal and other thoughts for 13 years and going. They do come back, but I ignore them. I'm 29 years old now and still going since my grandparents died in 2013 and 16. My positive is them. Love. Well, I am very proud of you for overcoming the suicidal ideation. I know that can be so difficult. And I have the thoughts sometimes too, and I have gotten to a point where I'm able to combat them and able to challenge them, which is such an amazing place to be. So I am proud. Snaps for Patrick. I am so proud of you. Angelic asks, are you taking suggestions for more reaction videos? Yep. Just make sure to use that super chat function as always. Today, just make sure to specify not only the song, but also whether you want the donation, the pledge to go toward the mental health outreach, toward the Days for Girls work that I do, or to Sunflower of Peace, which, like I said before, is an organization that's helping prepare first aid kits for individuals in the Ukraine. So just let me know which you want it to go toward. Richard says TGIF. Y'all have a great weekend. You too. Vivek says, I don't want to have my own kids. What you think about adopting? I think that's a great opportunity to offer a beautiful life to someone who deserves it just as much as everyone else. And I think that I've known people that adopted kids, and it was everything that they needed to have that family that they dreamed of. So I definitely think it's different for every person, but it's definitely an option worth looking at. I've written a novel called H8R, Hater, that focuses on high school students and social media with mental health as one of its main themes. It's on Amazon, and anyone is welcome to check it out. It sounds like a great book. H8R, and that's Michael Roy. So I assume that you're using your real name here. I'll make sure to check that out. I think that there's so much to be said about social media and mental health, especially in our youth. So I'm really eager to hear about that. I'm really eager to learn more. Okay. And I just want to say snaps for Michael for writing a book, because that is not an easy task. So snaps to you for writing a book and for getting that out there. That's not easy. Pierce Sargent, been at his job a while and was afraid to ask for what he wants, what he deserves, but he sought change and says good things could be coming. No, good things will be coming. Good things will be coming. Snaps to Pierce for making that change. I know change can be so scary, especially when we're in this comfort and we're kind of stuck in a rut of feeling like, okay, well, I'm uncomfortable, but it could be worse if I do something else. Oh, but darling, it could be so much better and you could just fly. So don't ever be afraid that it can be worse, because remember, even if it is worse, you can change again and adjust and keep changing until you're a person you love, grow until you're a person that you love being around, that you have the life of your dreams that you deserve. Yes, I understood that H8R is an abbreviation for the word hater. I just didn't want people to be looking up the word hater, so I was just spelling it out for them, Michael. Let's see. One more. Vanitas acknowledged that their small town is poisonous for them, which I understand that sometimes location can really drag down our mental health, and sometimes it's really almost crucial to get out of a certain environment, be it a town or a relationship or whatever. So Vanitas acknowledged that their small town is poisonous for them and is committed to moving away and finding a new start and new surroundings. Again, with that change, I am proud of you for being able to make that change, for being able to commit to that, for being able to recognize that, okay, this isn't working for me. I'm going to try something else. I'm going to go somewhere new, beautiful. Snaps, because that is amazing. So what changes are you guys going to make this week? I am curious. Let's see. Angelic Storm, I got it. Thank you so much. Let's see. Forgot my note system. Okay. Oh, Ophir, thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for all of the support today, not only for my projects, but forever for all of the other things that we're supporting today. I think it's very important. I will make sure to post some pictures over on the channel of the kits that will be going out from my Days for Girls chapter to the women and girls in Ukraine. If you don't know what Days for Girls is, I just realized some of you might not know what Days for Girls is. Days for Girls is an organization that provides feminine hygiene kits for girls in impoverished countries and impoverished areas to make sure that they are getting the support they need for their menstrual cycles. So the kit has reusable feminine hygiene products that we would know as pads, but they're reusable. They can be washed, and they can be washed with very little water, because a lot of these areas don't have access to clean water. So water is very limited. So it can be washed with very little water. And it was a cause that was very important to me, because I've been sexually assaulted, and here we don't even, like, as a woman, I never even thought about the availability of feminine hygiene products. They've just always been there, like they've always appeared for me. But in a lot of these areas, women are sexually assaulted. They have to give themselves to authority figures in order to get very basic needs like pads or tampons. So it's another stigma that I'm working to break. That is actually why I learned French. I taught myself French from absolute scratch so that I could serve girls in Haiti and Africa and a lot of these Francophone countries that desperately need our help. So that is why I learned French. That is what Days for Girls is. I'd be happy to answer any questions about that as well, because obviously that does play a lot into mental health, in the sense of these girls are led to believe that their bodies are just for someone else and that they are worthless, and that is not true. They are all worthy of love. And I think that I know that we're making a lot of difference. I know first and foremost in the areas that we're serving, rates of female circumcision are dropping. rates of girls being able to go to school is through the charts, like so high. And I'm so very proud to work with Days for Girls. If you want to learn more, you can check out daysforgirls.org. You can go onto Facebook and follow my personal chapter, Mesa Days for Girls, Love Girls, period, and see some of the things that we do. But I will be posting pictures of the kits that we send to Ukraine here, specifically in the channel community. I got you, Ophir. It's coming. Vikram says, love the Lincoln Park logo in front of you. Oh, yes. R.I.P. Chester, indeed. I'm actually going camping with his son Jamie next weekend, so I'll definitely post some pictures of that as well. Casca says, you straight short story, sci-fi, fantasy, horror, or a combo of those. But ever since one of my wolf dogs passed away November 1st, 2021, she was 12, check wolf dog, I've not been active with it. Maybe you can write a sci-fi fantasy story incorporating her, and that can be kind of a way of honoring her, but also processing through some of that grief and the emotions. I will say that writing was huge for me. Writing out my experiences, good, bad, and crazy, as I say, it really helped me to be able to process through that. The sexual assault, for example, I was raped when I was 16, and it was huge for me when I wrote about that. And it was a form of exposure therapy, trauma therapy, but writing about it, I didn't even know that at the time, actually, but writing about it really helped me to move through that pain that I've been holding on to for so long. Ironically, also, shooting for Playboy really helped as well. I shot for Playboy, and it really helped me feel like my body was mine again, and I took control of my body again. I was doing things on my terms, which really helped me get past that trauma and get past all of the things that were in my head regarding that. It was really difficult, but that helped. But writing about it did help. So I think maybe, writing about that and sharing in some way, maybe incorporating that in some way could help. But when you're ready, you will start writing again. If you're not ready yet, that's okay too. When you're ready, you'll start. Oh, as David says, you'll start writing again. Man, we're reading each other's minds. Metal Mark says, my grandson got straight A's for his semester, 11th grade. Snaps for Metal Mark, son. Amazing. A high five. Thank you so much, Ty. Thank you, everyone who's pledging today. It really means a lot. It means I love to be able. I've realized recently that I am what is known as a karma yogi because I'm really dedicated to just serving. That's what I feel like my life purpose is. And I have people all the time ask, well, how much money did you make doing that? And I'm going, I didn't make anything. Like, I write articles and stuff all the time, and I 99.9% of the time do not make money off of that. It's just, it really makes me feel like I found my little place in the world, being able to make a difference, and making sure that people don't have to go through what I went through. So for those of you that watched the call video the other day, it's really important to me to find a way to help others that might be in the situations that I was faced with. In this case, I started volunteering for an organization, an unbiased organization. As I said, I talked about them a little bit in that video, but I started volunteering for them to help girls that are in crisis pregnancy, unplanned pregnancy, that sort of thing, get the help that they need and get the support that they need. So I really just think that if we all did our part and used our struggles and our experiences as a way to make us that superhero, with backstory, yep, we have this tragic backstory, but we're going to use that to help other people, then I feel like there's something good that comes out of it. I need something good to come out of traumas and stuff. I'm a person, I very much, when something traumatic happens, I have to just have something good come out of it. James, this is you love California. What a traitor. What about your Arizonians? Actually, I was just kind of cold this morning. I was feeling a little chilly. Felt like I needed to be a little nuzzly this morning, so I threw on this sweater. I wear this sweater like a couple times a year, not just because I live in Arizona. But I do think that there are a lot of beautiful things about California. I lived in Sacramento for several years, so I do think that there are a lot of beautiful things about Arizona or about California. Telling you, my brain has just decided to shut off today about California, and I do think that there are some things that definitely need work. Ty, I got your song written down. Okay. What's up? Beautiful. I made it, James. Yay. I'm so happy. I always love hearing that people are getting through the tough stuff, you know? Thank you, Dr. If. I love it, Dr. If. Thank you so much for your support. Time Waiting Between Worlds by I love how most of these people I've just never heard of, and so I get to experience something new, and that's just so huge for me. I know that that's weird because most people kind of get stuck in their little worlds and never venture out, and I'm sitting there going, no, just send it to me, because even if I don't love it, like the Slayer song wasn't really my thing. I appreciate all the talent, and it was a good song, don't get me wrong, but it's not something I would just go, you know what, I'm in the mood to listen to this right now. But I still appreciate that I was exposed to it, that somebody introduced me to that, because I got to experience something new. At the very least, I can go, man, now I've listened to Slayer and I know what that experience is like. So I'm all about having experiences, even if it's something that I go, nah, all right, well, now I know that's not for me. Every experience doesn't have to be, oh my God, that was the best thing in the world. Like sometimes it's just, all right, we're here and we did it. I've had a lot of really crazy experiences in my life, and I'm so grateful for all of them. So grateful for every single one of them, because it's just so absolutely, I can't really find the words. I think that that's what life is about, is having experiences and understanding that all of them aren't going to resonate with you. You know what I'm saying? Not all of it's going to completely resonate with you, but there's a lot that will. And like I said, if nothing else, you can say, yep, that wasn't for me. I think that that's really big. What is actually, I want to know, what is the best experience that you've ever had that you didn't expect to be a good experience, that you went into it kind of going, ugh, and it ended up being really good? And what is an experience that you went into being really excited about and then going, oh, well, that's disappointing? I will say one of my biggest disappointments, this is really funny, but I loved the Aragon books. I loved that series. And I remember being so excited when the movie came out. That at the time, I didn't have a car. My mom was still alive. I didn't have a car. We walked across town. So we walked like 2 hours to see this movie, or actually about an hour and a half to see this movie. So we walked almost the length of the movie one way just to see the movie. And it was the worst thing I've ever seen. Not to exaggerate, but it was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, at least in the fact that it didn't hold up to the book at all. And usually I can kind of take each separately and say, okay, the book was good, the movie was okay, or the book was great, the movie was still okay, or well, the movie wasn't really for me, but the book's still good. But this time it completely ripped my heart out, because I've been so very, very excited, you know, and then get kind of shot down. Metal Mark wants to know if I've been to the Grand Canyon. Yes, sir. I hiked down to Havasupai, messed up my ankle at the bottom, and had to find a big stick and hobble my way out. Oh, so many comments. I'm kind of falling behind. James says Slayer's too heavy, but you love Metallica and Megadeth. It's not even really that they're too heavy. I just it wasn't I don't even really know what it was. I can't pinpoint what it was. I just didn't enjoy it as much as I did some other bands. And for that fact, maybe it's because I haven't heard Metallica's entire selection yet, but I don't think Metallica is all of that heavy, at least to me. It definitely is heavier than NSYNC and stuff that I listened to, but I just don't find it to be overwhelmingly heavy. Metal Mark says Amanda didn't dig Slayer. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. Please forgive me. I'll iron my hands. I promise. I promise I'll iron my hands later. But yeah, I'm really curious to know those experiences. Actually, Inferno was like that for me too. So I was in Venice. I was so excited because I saw this sign saying that Inferno was coming out, which was my favorite book. Like to this day is still my absolute favorite book in the entire world. And I don't know why. Inferno by Dan Brown, just to be clear. I have read Dante's Inferno by Dante Alighieri as well, or Inferno by Dante Alighieri as well. But I was referring to Dan Brown's Inferno. Oh my gosh. And the movie was really good until they decided to Hollywoodize the ending. So I'm sitting there through the movie going, yeah. Oh. So it was kind of like bad sex that you're going, okay, like maybe this is gonna no, all right. It was kind of disheartening, I'm not gonna lie. But I really liked the others. I liked the rest of the Robert Langdon series. I liked Da Vinci Code. I liked Angels and Demons. I really like most of Dan Brown's work. There were a couple that I didn't jive with. Digital Fortress and Deception Point were books that I didn't really resonate with. Origin wasn't all that great too, or all that great either. No, wait, Origin was the good one. Lost Symbol was the one I didn't like. Lost Symbol wasn't that great. And they made a Peacock original off of that one. And I went, really? Like, there's definitely some better Dan Brown books that you could have made a series out of. I started to watch it and it just didn't really grip me. So I give it a try though, and I'll probably eventually go in and watch it and finish it. I'm in the middle of Better Call Saul right now. I think I just started season 4, and I don't really like to have too many shows going on at once. I like to finish one and then start another one, with the exception of my soap opera. As I've mentioned before, I'm shamelessly addicted to The Bold and the Beautiful, so I do kind of, get trapped in that. But it's on every day, so I can't really wait for it to be over because it's never over. It runs every weekday. Anissa says, Jinli, I hope you're doing well. How are you? Keep up the great work. I am actually pretty fantastic. I feel like the only thing that I've really been struggling with lately, particularly, other than obviously some of the trauma I've been working through that I've been talking about on the channel, is the weather is all over the place here right now. Like one day it's 70 some odd degrees and I'm going, oh my God, it's so hot. I can't go outside. And not that that's too hot, but just for the season right now. Cause usually it'll be 60s, 70s. That's what I'm expecting. But then it's like in the 80s and I'm going, oh, not right now. I don't want it to get hot yet. But then the next day it'll be so cold that I'm wearing a sweater and still feeling a little chilly. So if that's the only thing I have to worry about right now, I think I'm doing pretty darn good. I want to see Amanda do more Slipknot. Well, unfortunately, if you guys haven't noticed, my Slipknot video got blocked. So that was a little upsetting. That was a little disheartening that my Snuff video got blocked. And I did contest it. It's probably one of the few videos that I'm going to contest because it could end up leaving a strike on the channel. I definitely don't want to do that, but it's a really important video to a lot of people, and I didn't want it to be taken away if I can avoid it. So that is one of the few that I contested that I really put my foot down and fought for. So hopefully it will be back soon, but Metal Mark 12 says, really love the song The Call, and I'm not into country music. Great reaction. Thank you. I am not really into new school country. I love old school country. Like, give me some George Jones. I love old school. Conway Twitty. I grew up in Missouri, so it's really not all that shocking. But I don't like a lot of new country, but that was a really good song. It was a very good song. And you know what? I'm not closed-minded. There's sometimes that, like doing the Jelly Roll reaction, I'm not really all that into rap, but that guy, I was told that he was a rapper and a country artist, kind of blobbed into one. He's just everything. But I really enjoyed him. I don't discriminate. I will listen to any genre once, twice if I like it, kind of like everything else. Try it once, twice if I like it. Tybee says Mother Nature throwing out temperature like she's calling Powerball numbers. I love it. It's pretty true. I'm enjoying it because it is it's really nice this time of year. Even if it's on the cooler side, it's really nice. I'd rather it be cold than our 120-degree summer. A little much, but yeah, I'd rather it be a little chilly. I prefer chilly to hot. Oh, I can't hear. Ugh. David says that was my first Amanda video discovery. Oh, Snuff, right? Yes. Yeah, there were quite a few people that had joined the channel from that song, so I was pretty bummed to see it go. Sober by Tool got blocked as well. But out of all, I think we're just about at 100 reactions for the channel, and I've only had 2 blocked. I'd say we're doing pretty darn good, right? Odessa says, good to hear about the weather. Yours is clearly warmer than mine. PS, react to more Metallica live, preferably. Coming up, darling, coming up. Model Mark says, oh, he's talking to Rick James. You like Testament. I was confused. That must be a song. I was thinking the Testaments is in the Margaret Atwood novel. Like, that's weird that y'all are talking about that right now. Tybee, oh my God, Ty is just cracking me up today. Says hip hop is general term for country hip hop rap. I have never heard a country rap artist, and I've certainly never heard that term hip hop. Oh, I needed that laugh today. That's good. David says blocking Amanda should be a punishable offense. The thing that frustrates me the most about that is I even said I don't want the money from it. Like, you can keep the money. I don't need to be monetized for the video. Please just release it because it's helping people. Again, that's what this channel is about. Like, I don't profit from the videos and stuff. Any money that I do make from the channel, from Patreon, is all going right back to my projects and stuff. So right now, like I said, trying to raise $4,000 by the end of March to be able to continue. Well, it's going to continue one way or another, this huge mental health project, which I am this close to being able to announce. So I'm really hoping by my birthday, I will be able to announce it. My birthday is on April Fool's Day, by the way. So I feel like I'm going to announce on my birthday and nobody's going to believe me. So maybe I will do it the day after something if it's available, or if it's available for me to announce at that time. But I'm very excited about it. And I know that I get quite easily excited, but I think that there's a couple people that know the secrets. David here knows the secrets of this project, and I think David can tell you also that it's pretty huge. It's a pretty big deal. If you are watching this at a later time and you can't do the super chat or super sticker, you can always join Patreon. So many perks. I'm going to be doing a live stream over there tomorrow where we just hang out and chat and have fun. So it's less serious and stuff. It's just more chatting and hanging out, playing games, stuff like that. But there's a lot of perks to being a Patreon. So there are other ways that you can be involved even after this. If you're watching this at a later time, so check out the comments. Again, just make sure, or I'm sorry, check out the description. Again, just make sure that you are specifying that this is from the Friday live stream and specify where you want that specific donation to go toward. I love doing the Zoom calls. We're so weird over there. We're so weird on the Zoom calls. There's been belly dancing, and it wasn't by me, by the way. There was belly dancing. Sometimes we do reactions. Sometimes we just play board games that can be played online like that. So we definitely have a lot of fun. We're really weird. As you know, I'm really weird. So I just saw Yes and Anthrax, and it took me a second to go, wait, what? And then realize Anthrax, a band, I believe. Anthrax is a band. Because I'm going, wait, who's cheering for Anthrax in my chat? Ah, oh gosh, I'm weird. But yeah, I just really don't understand. I don't understand why block the video entirely, because it was already blocked from being monetized, right? Like most of the videos on this channel are not monetized. They cannot be monetized because of copyright. So the vast majority of my reactions, literally probably 95% of my reactions, are not monetized, save for the really kind artists that do allow it. But I don't understand why you would block it. Number one, it's free exposure for your band. I mean, I have bands that big bands, like big name bands that will contact, or their management contacts me and says, will you react to this song to get the exposure for it and get the name out there? I'm going, why on earth wouldn't you want somebody doing that? Because I know a lot of people, after watching a reaction, and I know I do this, if I watch a reaction, which I don't do super often, but sometimes, you know, I'll check out one of a friend or something, and I will go check out the song afterward just so I can hear the song play all the way through and get my own experience for it if it's something that I haven't heard and I don't plan on doing on the channel or anything. So I think that they're doing themselves a disservice and not kind of keeping up with times. I understand, again, if they don't want it to be monetized or if they want to share the monetization or whatever, but just blocking it entirely is really dumb and doesn't help anyone. Chris Hardy, am I allowed to super chat a song request? Yep, for a reaction at some point. Yes, yes. Just know that I will get to things as soon as I can. Patreons always come first, and then all of the generous people here. So please make sure just to be patient with me. It could take a couple of weeks, but I'm doing my best to keep up. I appreciate all of you, but yes, please, it does knock it up on the priority list. So I hate to say that I get so many comments of songs that I really want to dive into, and I'm going, oh, this sounds like it would be a good idea because either I know of the band and I've really wanted to listen to it for a long time, or it's a band I know, and I go, oh, I've never heard the song, I'd really like to check it out. But I really do make sure to give priority to the individuals that are supporting the causes and stuff, that are supporting the projects, because I want them to know how much I appreciate them. Not that I don't appreciate everyone here too, and I try to throw in a song here or there that I see requested a lot in the comments, just to make sure that you guys know that I love you and that I do read all my comments and I do appreciate you. See, right now, Judas Priest. I have never listened to Judas Priest. I don't know anything about Judas Priest other than people talking about them stuff. I've never listened to Judas Priest in my life, and I'm going, and I really want to, but I already have this list of songs that I have got to get through. So feel free to super chat, request it, and I will get on it, because I've never done it. Hiccup. Oh, apparently there's a whole lot of hiccup groups. And one of them is one of the requests I just got today. So is that you? Yes. Okay. I can be a real doofus sometimes. I need to make sure I make the notes of who requested what, so I get through everyone. Dr. If. Let's see. I really do just adore you guys. Am I the only one? Like, I just really feel like you guys raise my vibe sky high, through the roof. I just can't get over how good this has been for me too. And I know that some people were really worried. I had a lot of people reach out to me that were really worried after my reaction to the call. But it's helping me. It really is. It helps me to process, like to get through things, and yeah. So even when I'm crying, I'm still healing, and you guys are still helping me. Joel, yeah, I did appeal the decision and say that it should be transformative and fall under fair use. So hopefully it will be coming back. Poor Moose, Eternals, I'm on my vacation from work and it's been amazing for my mental health. Well, snaps on you for taking a vacation. Snaps for you, War Moose Eternal, for taking a vacation for yourself. You deserve it. Glad that it is helping your mental health. I can't snap loud enough to get it to pick up, I don't think. Oh, gosh. But I think it's just so interesting how people will reach out in response to videos like that and go, "Oh my God, your whole life must be falling apart." And I'm like, no, I had an emotion and I'm healing from this trauma, and that's a process. So yeah, I'm still a happy person. It's just that sometimes we have to be human and we have to hold space for the not so feel good stuff as well. Some treatment with you too. So many requests. It's so many bands. Have you ever heard of Seven Dust? I mean, I've heard of them, never listened to them. I just see all of these band names that are bands that people have been into for probably longer than I've been alive. And I'm going, how was I so sheltered? I was really sheltered from music. And I don't understand how that's a thing. I don't understand how I did. I'm sure that I've heard some of these songs or bands or whatever in passing, but didn't commit it to memory because I didn't have any, emotional attachment to having heard it. I didn't intentionally go out of my way to hear it or anything. There's somebody who had been coming into the chat, King Vegeta, I think was his name. And if you are in here today, or if you happen to watch this, I keep getting your emails and I'm trying to respond to them. And for some reason, it's bouncing. So I did want to acknowledge that I did get your email and I did try to respond to it, and it's bouncing. And I'm not sure why. If you have social media, feel free to reach out to me on there. On Instagram, I'm at Amanda Webster Health. And I really do want to make sure that you know that you're heard and seen. So I'm not ignoring you. Warmest Eternal says your reaction to Disturbed Inside the Fire actually scared the crap out of me. Did I scream? Did I yelp or something? And make everybody jump? It was heavy. It was definitely heavy to get through, but but again, things like that aren't meant to be comfortable, and sometimes we have to be uncomfortable. Metal Mark 12. Yep, see, been listening to metal since 1982. In fact, longer than I have been alive. It's a half day. I think I've said this before, but it's a half day for Bryston for my son. So I don't have as much time in my Fridays as I do typically. And yesterday I got really, really into a puzzle I was working on and kind of got lost. It was really meditative, actually. I just really got lost in it. And I'm kind of hoping that he goes and plays with his little friend today so I can continue to decompress. That's why you're not up to par. Got vodka or gin in your water bottle again? Nope, I promise it is just good old water. However, I did finally find myself some Dos Hombres, which I think I'm going to save for my birthday. I haven't opened it, but I did get it. Well, actually, Aaron, my boyfriend, got it for me. And I was so appreciative because I was so excited to try it. Instagram kept bombarding me with ads for it because apparently it saw that I was watching Breaking Bad videos or skits or stuff on YouTube. So apparently Instagram picked up that was something I was searching and started just thrusting this at me. Every single time I opened my Instagram, it was, hey, here's a picture of Aaron Paul and Bryan Cranston, who created this mezcal called Dos Hombres. And I finally got bottle, so I'll probably be trying it on my birthday and giving my feedback. So I'm pretty excited. But James Simpson, that's oh wait, what? I saw a comment and then it disappeared. And it wasn't from James, it was from Metal Mark, and it disappeared. Ooh, ghost comments. Ghost comments. Well, I hope that whatever the comment wasn't super important. Is that a thing? Are comments just disappearing? Here we go. Amanda, what was it that got you over your addictions and tragic events in your life? Well, I really had to really reflect, actually. The first thing I had to do was really reflect on, is the lifestyle I'm leading conducive to optimal mental health? And I say this all the time. I realized that it wasn't. I realized that there was so much in my power that I wasn't doing because I was constantly going, okay, this song needs to save me. This person needs to save me. This therapist needs to save me. This drug needs to save me. Something needs to save me. And I was really relinquishing all of my own power. And it wasn't one thing. There wasn't one thing that I just did this and suddenly everything was better and everything was gone. It was a process, but my suicide attempt was in that suicide attempt was in October of 2018. That was my most recent suicide attempt, just to be clear. I have had others in my life, but that was my most recent. And in May of 2020, I was decertified as having a serious mental illness. So it took me about a year because I didn't know what to do. It took me a few weeks to really kind of go, okay, I gotta start making some changes. But it took about a year for me to heal myself, and then it took time to fight the professionals to be willing to reevaluate me, because I was told by every single one of them, it is not possible to get decertified. You will not get decertified. People don't get decertified as having an SMI. You have it for life. But it was really a matter of restructuring my entire life. And I do teach that in my Happiness Boost course. That's what it's about, is teaching people the framework of what I did to go from being rock bottom suicidal to actually being happy and getting decertified. You can take the free 5-day Happiness Boost challenge completely free, and you get a free workbook. I will link that below. But it's happinessboost.life. Totally free, 5 days. I pop into your mailbox and give you the framework, just give you insights, give you little challenges, mini challenges that teaches the framework of my 5 puzzle pieces of happiness. What is Dos Hombres? It's mezcal. So it's kind of like tequila. It's sort of tequila. I'm really disappointed. I didn't watch the Super Bowl ads. I was told not to this year because they were just crap. But there was one that was Bryan Cranston as Walter White, and it was for, I want to say Esurance, but he is working at a pharmacy apparently, and this woman comes up and she says, "You're not Greg," and he goes, "I'm sort of Greg," and they have a little interaction, and he puts a bottle of pills up there on the counter, and she says, "This isn't my prescription." He goes, "It's sort of your prescription." And you should look it up if you haven't seen it. It's really good. It's a really funny commercial. But yeah, if you need a laugh, go look that up. In a weird way, my father being an alcoholic saved me. I was starting to turn into him, so I quit drinking going on 2 years ago. Eddie Jules, snaps for Eddie for quitting drinking. Congratulations on your sobriety, 2 years. That's amazing. You know, my dad was physically abused really badly as a child. His brother was beaten until he had a mental disability and wound up being beaten to death. And my dad dealt with a lot of abuse. And because of that, I got spanked growing up, but my dad would never hit me in anger. My dad would have never hit me in a way to try to hurt me like that. And he had told me before, I will never be him. I will never be my father. And from what I understand, he wound up, when he got out of the military, so he joined the service as young as humanly possible. He went to work on a farm when he was probably 14 or so, and then joined the military as soon as humanly possible, and came back and beat the ever-living hell out of his dad for abusing his mom. So yeah, his father is now gone. And you know, I know that hurt people, and I know that people who are abusive have probably been abused, or they went through something very traumatic and they don't know how to channel that anger. And I understand the psychology behind it. And I know they have their own mental health struggles, but it's so hard for me. That's something I'm still trying very hard to empathize with, because in my brain, my first instinct is to say, well, yep, he's dead. Hope he's burning in hell, because it really affected my dad his whole life. Nobody deserves that, but it is beautiful to focus on, the good that came out of that. That even though my dad did have anger issues sometimes, he did control that. David Gap says, I found myself overseas. I traveled to Europe by myself, sink or swim. My successes and failures were going to be mine. I survived, learned, grew, and felt alive for the first time. And that's what it's about, We're growing, we're learning all the time. We're constantly just shifting. Holy cow, it's already been an hour. Well, we're going to wind down here. So if you have any final pledges or donations that you'd like to make for the mental health outreach, for those organizations that we talked about, either Days for Girls or Sunflower of Peace, please make sure to get those in. It's a great way to feel like we have some kind of positive energy that we can send toward these atrocities that are happening. It's very tragic, and we have to do what we can do, hold space for these people, so that they can get through this. Bye, Ty. I'm glad that you spent lunch with us. Thank you. James says spankums are good. I very much disagree, just based on studies and psychology. But I will say I also understand there was a time where I spanked Bryson because he ran in front of a car and I panicked. He was in a parking lot and he was younger and he started to run in front of a car. And I panicked and I didn't know what to do. And I was like, I need him to know that is never, ever, ever okay. And I didn't hit hard, but I kind of swatted him just so he would understand the gravity of the situation. But I don't believe in physical consequences like that. So thank you, everyone, for popping in here, for joining me this beautiful Friday morning. Oh, Rick says smoke-free for 3.5 years and eating pain pills 2 years clean, 2+ years clean. You get more snaps, Rick. More snaps for the day. Seriously, thank you, everybody, for the support, for sharing this positivity with me. I hope that you carry it through the rest of your day. I hope that you can really find a way to stay connected to this. So it's great when we can find things that make us happier, that raise our vibes, be it someone on YouTube, be it a show, be it a song, but try to really hold that energy with you. Try and really connect to what it was that made you happier in that moment, and try and hold on to that through the day. And if you need another boost, there's always more things that we can do. You saw me put my oil on, just need a little bit of grounding. So there's always things that we can do throughout the course of the day to boost our happiness, to maintain, I call it the happiness bank, to make deposits in our happiness bank. And when we make deposits consistently in our happiness bank, it means that when something does happen that's stressful, we're going to have a high enough amount in there, high enough. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my voice. I can't lose my voice. We're going to have a high enough balance that when something does come out, when something does try and deplete us, we're going to have reserves. So just consistently adding things to the happiness bank and holding on to that energy as much as possible. So thank you, everyone. James says, don't forget Amanda's nice merch shop. I bought a beautiful shirt from there. Yes, down below on all the videos, you can get merchandise that I designed that is to help shatter the mental health stigma. It's a great conversation starter. People definitely ask questions. I've worn mine out about it. People definitely ask questions. So it gives me a great opportunity to start that conversation. So make sure to grab it. Thanks for the plug there, James. And I love you guys. I love you guys so much, and some great stuff coming up for the channel. Oh, just some random person says, it's been good watching this stream. I haven't said anything because I'm feeling kind of shy or something from how I've been feeling often lately, but I just want to say thanks and have a great day. Mwah. You have a great day too. I understand sometimes we're just observers, and that's okay. Sometimes we can just observe. No need to to say anything, but I hope that whatever it is you're going through, you can work through that and find the happiness, find the peace and love you deserve. So I will see you guys next week. Mwah.